sick of me yet?
Mm-hmm.
What has happened, everybody?
Hello, happy Sunday. Welcome in. Thanks for, I don't know, just to annoy you.
Rude.
Thanks for spending part of your Sunday afternoon with us.
Yes, indeed. So it's Sunday live haul. Things have been crazy busy for us it's been crazy busy forever, I feel like.
I do.
I do what?
I do feel like it never,
okay.
Yeah, it's never ending. I swear. Every time we're like, next week, things will slow down a little bit and we can actually get some work done and stay home and relax. And no.
It's not going to happen. And I will say that because we're kind of stretching ourselves thin and we've done lots of traveling, and then now we're, working on doing the planning and all the work that goes into putting on the Boss Reseller Remix, it leaves even less time for us to focus on our business.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say that I think our numbers reflected this week, which is why I've got the struggle is real title.
It's true. Trying to balance, the balancing is tough. Okay, so we've got some summer slowdown happening. We've got the two of us spending multiple hours a day, 5-6 days a week, working on presenting this amazing event for you guys coming up in October.
Mm-hmm.
And believe me, we're not complaining. We're doing this because we want to do it, and it's going to be a great, fun, amazing event. However, we don't have someone else to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's the two of us and Teresa putting it on, and there's a lot of work and a lot of details involved. And I forgot how many details are involved with planning a large scale event.
Mm-hmm.
And all of the events that I've done in my past have been 1 day or 1 night events.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is 3 days.
Indeed.
So
it's big.
It's big.
I've been watching, so I watch TV while I'll put a show on that usually I've seen before that plays in the background while I'm working. And right now I'm watching Arrested Development.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like a running joke, a running line throughout the series where a character will all of a sudden just like look forward and be like, I've made a huge mistake. And I feel like
Are you feeling that sometimes?
I'd say maybe once a day. No, just kidding. Just kidding. Anyway, it definitely
once a day you're like, we have made a huge mistake. Huge. I think of the line from Pretty Woman.
Yeah.
Big mistake. Huge. That's what I think of when she goes back with the shop with all the stuff after the girl dissed her in the boutique because she was trashy. Oh yeah, that's how I feel. Big mistake. Huge.
Good times. Anyway, but we are really excited and things are going really well. We're working on getting our sponsor page up. We've got a bunch of great sponsors that have signed on to this event.
Mm-hmm.
And we're still sharing, more about our different speakers that are coming on our Boss Reseller Remix Instagram page. So make sure you're there. Plus we post, fun questions almost every day for people to answer. That's kind of, a way for us to engage with each other. So if you could please follow that would be much appreciated.
For sure.
Not tomorrow, but next Monday, we should be going live with Rally Roots to talk about the event because they are coming as well. Plus, Callie, best part, I'd say. I'm pretty excited about it.
Shh.
What?
Don't insult Ryan and Allie.
I like them too, but I love Callie. Sorry about it.
We are excited that Callie's coming. This is the first reseller event that Callie is going to come to. She hasn't made it to the one open.
Or at least the ones that we go to.
Yeah, the one open that Ryan and Allie were at in 2018.
Mm-hmm.
Callie was not able to come. So I'm super excited. I haven't met her
in person. Yeah, we've talked to her a bunch. And we had her on our No Pants Friday show after dark. We've had her on that. We talked to her, obviously privately through messages and stuff. So we consider her a friend, but we've never met her in person.
She's definitely a stranger friend, right?
I
mean,
absolutely.
I'm excited to make her a real life in-person friend. Christine, I think our speaker lineup is awesome too. I have to say, we're already making lists for next year because we've already decided we're going to do this again. But we're already making lists for next year's event. And I keep saying to Katy,
how do we top this?
How do we top this? How do we top this? I feel like every person that we've asked to be a part of this has jumped on board. Yeah. And we are so grateful for the support from this community, from our amazing friends. Yeah. And strangers, to be honest with you, because one of our major speakers, or one of the major speakers that we've asked to be a part of this event, the Posh Kings, we don't know.
Yeah.
We actually have just been introduced to them, just started talking to them a little bit, had a couple hour, maybe like an hour-long conversation with them the other day. Super nice guys. I've been following them for a long time on Instagram.
I haven't because I don't sell them Posh.
But I don't know them on it. Yeah, and I'm way more active on Instagram than you are, which isn't saying much because I don't do much. But they're just so informative and just super nice guys. So we're excited that they're taking a leap and coming to an event where they don't know any of us either. So
it's going to be really fun. I think
I
think we're taking all the best elements of an event like eBay Open, and bringing all of our favorite people to it. And then we're just doing all the things that we've always complained about that we didn't like about eBay Open. And we are, I guess, maybe full of hubris and thinking that we can do better. But I guess time will tell. We'll know when the event comes. I don't know. Like I said, maybe I'm sure that the day of, I will say we've made a huge mistake 20 times.
Right. I have to say every eBay Open that I've been to, and I've been to 2016, 17, so 4. I've been to 4 of them. And while they are fantastic and they're a lot of fun and they're super over the top, don't get me wrong. If they have one again, you should absolutely go. If they do an in-person one again.
But the best part is the other sellers.
The best part is the other sellers. The best part is the networking. And I feel like the very best, panels that have been, with very few exceptions, there have been a few, but very few exceptions, the very best panels have been when it's other sellers talking to sellers.
Yeah, that tends at their events, that tends to be the minority of the
right
panels, which we get. It's their conference.
It's their party.
They're using it to cover all the things they want to cover that are going on the platform. But the reality is, as sellers, we get more inspired and we get more from other sellers than anyone else. So so we feel like that's what we're kind of focusing on.
Yeah. So it's very heavily seller focused.
Yes.
And we're excited about that. Yeah. Anyway, you're going to have to hear us talk about this for the next few months. I apologize. But anyway, our tickets are just about halfway sold. We have not gone on the Rally Roots show yet, so their followers don't really know that they're coming yet.
Yeah, I think they've mentioned it maybe twice in their stories on Instagram. So, and you know how fast those get buried. But yeah, Paula, I think it's going to be cool that it's a smaller event too, because we're going to have a lot more one-on-one time, and a lot more. You're going to have a lot more access to the other sellers that are going to be presenting,
and not to mention not just other sellers, but we wanted to let you guys know, and I think I might have mentioned this briefly the other day, that eBay has signed on as a sponsor for this event.
Yeah.
So this is an eBay endorsed and sponsored event, and there will be eBay employees at this event.
They're sending like 6 people.
They're sending 6 people.
One of them is going to be one of their like customer support.
Yeah, customer service people. There's going to be a dedicated customer service account specialist that is going to have a table or a booth or some sort of
an actual table, so I don't know if you need to do the
well, a table or a booth or some type of setup. We're not sure what the setup is going to look like yet, but actually they're going to be there, and they're going to be able to go and have one-on-one conversations with you about any concerns you may have with your account.
Yeah, I know that's going to be nice.
That is super special at eBay Open, so I think that it's going to be super special that we have that at our little baby seller event. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah, Paula, Vikki will be giving out free hugs.
I am a hugger.
I will probably charge $5 a pop. So
I am definitely a hugger. So yeah, for sure.
Anyway, all right, let's get into today's show. It might be a little bit of a shorter one. I don't know. You, as far as like sourcing and stuff this week, you did go to the bins, even though you have your regular weekly source now that you just go over to her house and you pick up 100 pieces and come home. But you were able to get in some sourcing.
I did do a little sourcing at the bins. The bins were pretty good this week. Not fantastic, but pretty good. I just want to answer Tommy's question real quick. Is there a speaker who you really want to come that won't be there? Because it sounds like you got the biggest social media personalities. Well, I mean, it just so happens that these people actually are also our friends that we tapped into. Our friend and colleague network.
Yeah.
People that we respect within the community. And that's not to say that we don't respect other people, but people that we respect in the community and that we want to learn from too. So we tried to make that a certain theme for this event. I mean, are there people that won't be there? I mean, there's more people that won't be there than will be there, I'm sure.
Well, let me address the question, because I mean,
like Gary V, I'd love to have him show.
There were definitely, I would say honestly, there were probably, I think, 2 people that we approached that aren't able to do it for different reasons.
That's true.
That just mostly because
scheduling conflict.
One person because they're just not doing traveling right now. And so there's definitely were a couple that didn't are going to be able to make it, and maybe next year will happen. We're not going to say their names just because there's no point, and until maybe we can get them to come. But as far as everybody else, it was like we asked and they said yes, and so now our schedule is jam-packed full and we're all full up. So it seriously worked out really well.
Yeah, we feel really fortunate that the people that have agreed to be part of this event, like us enough and like the community enough that they're willing to do this. Because let's be real, we're not paying people. I'm going to put that out there right now. We're not paying people to come and speak, and they're not coming to sell anything.
Yeah.
So,
all right, let's get into our show. Like I said, Vikki did her sourcing. I haven't sourced in a few weeks. And then Jesse from yesterday's fit sent me a message yesterday with a picture of something that he told me he was holding hostage until I came in again. And I realized I didn't have anything to show today anyway. So I went over there just before, like I got up this morning, went straight over there, bought a bunch of stuff at yesterday's fit, some really, really cool stuff. And then Jesse gave me the news that he signed on his new house, which I'm pretty excited about. These kids, speaking of the Reseller remix, Jesse and Austin, they're 23. And actually, I think Austin doesn't even turn 23 until like this month or next month or something like that. But they're young kids, and they both are doing amazing with their businesses. Some huge, huge things happening for them. And I feel like I'm their mom who's super proud of them. But it's pretty cool. So I'm excited that they're going to be coming to the event in October. But anyway, I got some cool stuff from them. And so we're going to get into that. But first, as you know, we break the show up into 3 parts. The first part, we look at our real numbers for the last week, our gross sales, some of the costs that come out of that, cost of goods, fees, shipping, stuff like that. Middle part of the show, we look at some sales highlights from the last week, some of the cool stuff that we sold, or at least we think might be educational. And then the last part is we look at our actual haul. The reason I said that that I titled this show, "The Struggle is Real," is first of all, I'll give a caveat that, like we always say, we totally get that our numbers sometimes, like to a lot of you guys, might seem like really big numbers. And believe me, we've been there 3 years, like 5 years ago. I can definitely tell you there were times when I knew that my eBay fees, when you used to have to pay once a month, I would be waiting, like needing to have sales 1 to 2 days before that money was going to come out of my bank account. And I didn't know if I was going to have enough money in there to cover it. Luckily, that never actually happened, but there were definitely more than a couple of occasions where I was literally down to the wire. I had to make a certain number of sales in the next 24 hours or my checking account was going to bounce. So, and I wasn't going to be able to pay the bills. Yeah. So we totally get that. And when we look at our sales numbers right now, and we think about like 3 summers ago, we would have killed to have these numbers. We get everything's relative, but we definitely have seen a huge drop in our numbers.
Yeah, I'm really down from last year, and I've said this before, and I'll say it again. So, people, it is real. I'm really down from last year, although last year I think was a bit of an anomaly with so many people home and not being able to travel. So there was more spending happening last year. So even if I took last year's numbers and threw them out the window, I am down from 2019. Yeah. So right now, it's tough. It's weird. It's weird times. I'm still doing well. I'm just not doing as well as I was last year or the year before. So that's disheartening a bit,
And the thing is, we are, you're always adjusting depending on your income. You're adjusting your lifestyle. You're adjusting to like the things you're doing, the bills you have to pay, the stuff you're trying to accomplish, trying to make plans for the future. We're both in our 40s. Like we're probably a little late. It's better than never, right? I don't know. I can't think of like the phrase.
The words.
Better late than never. But words
are hard.
We're just now in a position where it's like, okay, we both got health insurance. We're both putting money into savings. Now we need to start thinking about, we've
eradicated debt. We're trying to
we don't
do
have
retirement.
401k at the moment, but that's like the next step, right? So we're like, we're both going through the whole thing of like our parents are, their health is in decline. That those issues are coming up, which makes us think about like what's going to happen to us when we get to that age. Are we going to be ready for it? Are we going to be equipped financially?
It's adulting, guys. We're adulting.
We're hoping to like try maybe buy a house next year sometime. So we have to prepare for that. So when you have a job like this, where your income is so variable, like it just changes constantly, and you come to expect a certain level and then it drops, like that can put a little bit of a wrench in your plans. And that's just the reality of it. So, okay, enough blabbity blabbing. Let me go ahead and share our screen. Okay, so I guess I could do this before the show even starts. I don't ever think of that. Okay, so come on, look at those eBay numbers.
Oh my Lord!
You see, she hasn't even seen it yet. Do you see that? I'm so rude.
That's bad.
So rude. Anyway, so this is the week ending yesterday. So from last Sunday to yesterday, 10 eBay orders in an entire week. You guys,
where the hell is eBay?
What happened? What happened? And to be fair, like I've been listing I would say we worked yesterday. We don't normally work on Saturdays. We worked yesterday, and I actually got like 15 items listed across all my platforms. That's like the most I've listed in one day in forever. I've been trying to do like 2 to 5, and I feel like, man, I'm really getting stuff done now. So I'm sure that has something to do with it, but I've still been staying relatively active. But yeah, 10 orders, 12 on Etsy. Like when Etsy is approaching my eBay sales, there's something going on. 1 Instagram order, and then 7 between Grilled and Mercari. Grilled and Mercari have been staying pretty active. Mercari's been coming through for me. I've been getting some good sales on Mercari, which is weird. So $710.05 on eBay, and that normally I'm shooting for 2,000. I'm usually getting like between 1,500 and 2,000 is a typical week for me. So half of that is pretty low. $669.33 on Etsy, 150 on that one Instagram sale, and then 632 between Grilled and Mercari. So my total gross sales, $2,161.38. I will say when I'm having a slow week, if I can still make it over 2,000, I'm still super grateful. So my shipping obviously is lower, $150.99. You can see all my fees there. My cost of goods for this week, actually pretty good, $275, although my sales are also down, but I'm used to having like $400, $500 in that cost of goods spot. My net total sales, $1,509.58. That's okay. In a good week, I'd like to hit 2,000, so that's actually not terrible. But my gross average sale price, $72.05. I'm always trying to hit at least 70, so that's good. And then my net average sale price, $50.32.
Mine does not look that much better than that. Mine is very similar to my numbers from last week. To be fair, once we get into my numbers,
Let's look at them right now. But look at you, 32 orders.
Yeah, but 32 orders for $17.76.
Yeah,
so
that's a lot. That's some lower
I had a lot of lower price stuff. So anyway, eBay 32 orders, 7 on Etsy, 8 on Poshmark, 5 were Mercari, and 1 on Depop. I sold my second thing on Depop for a total of 53 total outgoing orders. 1776 was a good year on eBay, and 436 on Etsy, 268 on Poshmark, 249 between Mercari and Depop, for a total of 2729.54. Again, not a horrible number. I realize that $10,000 gross a month is not terrible in this business by any stretch. So this is, while it's not a great week for me, I understand that it is a goal week for some people, and I'm not trying to discount that. Again, like Katy says, everybody has different goals, right? So my shipping was $273. eBay fees, $213 and change. Etsy fees, Poshmark, Mercari. So my total fees, somewhere around $612. My cost of goods, $186. Again, that's not too bad. As long as I'm running 10% or less of my total gross sales for my cost of goods, that's my plan. And that's where I try to stay. And generally, I'm lower than 10%, as I am here. So my total net sales, $1931.82. Because my cost of goods are low, my net sales generally look pretty decent. And that gives me a $51 gross average sale price. My average sale price has been going down. I do like to be 60 and 65, but I'm consistently getting lower this year because I have been picking up a lot more items at the bins. And then with my new purchase source, I'm paying $4 an item. So I'm doing a lot of bread and butter, $30, $35 items. And that's bringing down my average sale price, and it's also bringing down my cost of goods. So it's all relative, right? I just need the number and the volume to start increasing to make a difference for this amount of work.
But at the same time, it's also because you have somebody else taking your pictures and listing and doing all that stuff for you, you're saving a lot of time. You're able to put a lot of time into other stuff. So those are the there's a lot of factors that don't get shown in a simple spreadsheet like this.
Everybody's business's model is different, obviously. Here's the thing. The reality is I've lately been spending $400 to $500 a week on inventory. You don't see that there because I'm showing you only the cost of goods for what specifically sold that week.
Yeah.
So for the past several months, I've been spending $400 and $500 a week on inventory. And plus I pay my lister a couple $100 a week. So therefore I am listing far more. I'm acquiring and listing far more than I'm selling lately. Now, generally I like to be at about 50% sell through at least the numbers. So say if I'm listing 100 items a week, I want to sell at least 50 to 75. They may not be the same 50 to 75. You understand what I'm saying? And right now in the past several months have been much slower. I was great in January and February and the beginning of March. Since March, my sales have gone down quite a bit. So again, we'll see. We'll see what Q4 ends up doing. We'll see what starts picking up in September. End of August to early September is when sales generally start picking up, and then they're solid and grow all the way through the end of January.
I do think that this year we're going to have a more typical fourth quarter. Noman Frog boys say, do you girls think the stimulus checks gave out false numbers of sales? I mean, I think I'm not entirely sure what you're asking, but I think what you're saying about, what we're saying about last year being our best year and it being kind of an anomaly. I will say, there were a lot of people who went through serious financial hardship last year because of the shutdowns and everything. But then there were other people where, we have a lot of friends who, because of being stuck at home, but continuing to be able to work, you don't realize how much money you save by not going out to eat constantly, not going out and doing stuff. I know for us, we definitely saved money
a ton last year.
Yes, when people were getting, stimulus money, there were a lot of people that were spending money. And so I know, part of it probably has to do with that we added at least I added 2 platforms last year. I think that was last year. But it was definitely, other than the first month and a half or so when things were real bad, the year overall was my best reselling year ever. And so we say it's an anomaly because those circumstances are not going to be the same this year.
Right.
And so
they're not going to be replicated. So it's kind of hard. The only reason that we're comparing years to years is because we all have solid several years background in knowing the patterns within this business. Mm-hmm. Last year, I think, just threw everybody for a loop. Because it's not a pattern that's replicated this year. And because this year is following the strangeness of last year, this year is not like 2 years ago either. Yeah. So it's kind of tough to tell. I think it's going to take us, as people have said about the economy in general, and I'm not going to get too far into that, but the economy in general is going to take a few years to recover properly. And I think that's going to affect businesses such as ours too, to get back to whatever our norm is. It's just too hard to tell. Last year and this year are not the norm.
Yeah. And fourth quarter last year, there was a lot of uncertainty in the economy. They didn't know, okay, is there going to be another stimulus check? Is the moratorium on evictions going to,
was unemployment going to be extended?
So there were so many things where, if you think about it, some of you probably are, if you are a parent, if you have a family and kids to look after, you are going to base your financial choices and purchases on whether or not you have certain money coming into your household. And if that's all up in the air, you might hold off on spending money. I will say right now they have the part of the stimulus where parents get I think it's $250 per child or $300, I think, if they're under 6 a month. That started this last week or so. I haven't seen any
a week or two ago. I haven't seen a bump either, but I also I don't market necessarily to those households, but we'll see. I don't sell kids clothing. I don't sell
but there's
mommy stuff.
Lots of people are parents. And so I'm just saying that there are some households who have a lot of extra income coming in now. And maybe they're using that to pay off, bills and, but anytime there's extra money coming into a household, they might be like, you know what, I can pay off a bunch of bills and I'm going to buy this $40 vintage dress for myself as a little treat or something like that. You never know.
Mm-hmm.
But
you never know.
It's all over the place. All over the place, guys.
It's just hard. I mean, anybody that tries to tell you this is exactly what's happening in the market is full of shit because nobody knows. Yeah. Nobody knows. Economists can't figure it out. So certainly a bunch of eBay and Poshmark resellers can't either.
Well, I think I have all the answers.
You do.
All right, let's go ahead and look at our sales highlights for the week. These are just some of the kind of cool, interesting things that we sold to kind of show you. So, basically, I guess it's kind of like bolos usually, depending on, I don't know, maybe we're going to show you something that we've had sitting around for 3 years and we finally sold it for less than what we paid for it originally.
Exactly. That's not what this is. No. But I did want to and not that this is a specific highlight. I sell lots of vintage muumuu, Aloha dresses. This one is not specifically great other than the fact that I just wanted to say I sold 2 last week. One of them and both of them to the same buyer under a best offer. She actually asked if I would send an offer, and I did because I don't put best offer on my items. So I sent best offer to her, she actually returned one of them. She kept the cheaper one and returned this one, which she paid $42 for because it didn't fit. It was a little tight across the bust, which is fine. I accepted the return, no big deal. She paid to return it, so I wasn't really out anything. But I just wanted to say, so what I did was I increased the price when I relisted it, and it sold again this week.
Nice.
And this actually sold for $20 more this time than it had the previous time.
Good.
So
you covered those costs.
Yeah. And that's what I want to tell people. Don't be afraid to take returns. Don't be I don't want to ever take returns thing, because we all know eBay can force it, right?
It does suck. We get it.
I don't do free returns. And I think that has definitely cut down returns for me, because I do sell mostly women's clothing. And let's face it, free returns is kind of an invitation to return a lot when you have women's clothing. So it gives them pause if they have to pay to return it and they lose the initial shipping. However, I will always accept a return, especially someone that says it didn't fit. So they're paying to ship it back. But what I generally do is when I get a return back, I'll bump the price up by $5 or so when I relist it.
Mm-hmm.
And that will help cover the loss that I may have taken. In this case, I didn't take a loss, but the loss I may have taken, because, let's face it, false INADs happen. So someone's going to get their shipping for free at some point that shouldn't. And there you go. So that's all. I just wanted to highlight that one for that.
All right. Do you remember this shirt from, I think, last week?
Yes, it was last week.
So last week, I actually showed a couple of these rodeo shirts I'd gotten dead stock from yesterday's fits. I'd gotten two of them. I think this is the one I paid like $25 for. And then the other one was in a pile of stuff that Jesse had said was going to be in their $4 sale. And I pulled it out and I was like, are you sure this is supposed to be in here? And so he actually sold it to me for $10. But this one is the one I paid $25 for. And I listed it for $99.99. It was supposed to go on sale for 30% off. But, sometimes it happens right away. Sometimes it takes a few hours before it goes on sale. So it was up, it would have gone on sale to $69.99. And rodeo stuff always sells relatively quickly. But this one was even quicker than I was expecting. I listed it for $99.99, and within maybe a half an hour, I got an offer for $75, and I immediately accepted it because that would have been even more than what it would have been on sale. So I immediately accepted it, and it was one of those like shop airline accounts where it's a freight forwarder. So and
never get returns, always get good feedback.
The buyer's name, it looked like somebody who's maybe in Japan. And so I'm excited about that. Anyone who ever gets those orders, don't worry about them. You're shipping it to somebody usually in California, sometimes up in Oregon or Washington. Mm-hmm. And they
Seattle,
take it,
Portland, and somewhere in California.
Yeah, and they take it and they send it on to the buyer. And the thing is, once it gets to its location here in the US, you are good to go. It's not, I don't think I've ever had a return or ever had any issues with a single item that's
I never have. And I've been shipping to that Shop America, America Airlines. That particular Airlines one, there's a couple versions of that. I've been shipping to that freight forwarding company for 15 years.
Yeah.
And I remember when they first started doing freight forwarding with eBay buyers, it was all a buzz on the eBay message boards. People were freaking the heck out about it. And, even then people were like, what is this place? It's not real. It's an airplane hangar. Yes, it is an airplane hangar. If you Google the address, it actually is. But you know what? I've never had an issue with it.
Well, and I think it's very similar to what Pirate Ship is doing now with their first class international stuff.
Yeah, the Ascendia stuff.
It's basically these buyers, they're saving on shipping because it's being sent out probably all in one big bundle, all these packages, and so it's cheaper than the customer directly buying from us and paying full shipping prices. So Joyce says that she got a request today for a forward return. That's crazy.
But I bet you don't have to pay return shipping on it.
Probably not. Okay, next up for you.
This was just a cute little. I think I've had it listed for a couple of weeks.
Okay.
I think you might have found this for me when we were outsourcing. So maybe our last trip to Arizona. I'm not sure exactly. Yeah. I paid about $5 or $6 for it. And it sold for the price you see there. It was on sale. It sold for $72.96. This week I sold 4 Rain Spooner shirts. I'm only showing you this one because this was a little bit different, but I sold 4 Hawaiian shirts and muumuus they're always good buys if they're vintage. But this particular week, they've been a really big seller. I think it's because Tiki Oasis is coming up and people are shopping online for things to wear. But yeah, $72.96 plus shipping.
Nice. Not bad, not bad.
It was not bad.
All right, next up, This jacket, I've had this for a while. I probably paid like $10 for it because this is something I would have just bought at a thrift store, as opposed to like yesterday's fits. I haven't really been buying a whole lot of jackets lately. So I paid like maybe $10 for this. This is just a military jacket. It's got a cool design on the back. I priced it pretty high, so it was on sale for $139.99. I've sent out offers to buyers on this for probably $100. I might have gone down as low as $85. That's usually like my bottom price for stuff at this price point, multiple times. And somebody bought it at the full $139.99 price. And like I said, I paid $10 for it, sold it for $140. So I haven't really added jackets to my inventory. I think I had 2 in the last 6 months. So I haven't been adding a lot of jackets. So that probably does bring down my jacket sales, because I do find, I think you find it as well, that when you sell things out of a certain category, it elevates the rest of the category.
It does.
Which also means if you're not listing anything in that category for a long time, again, these are just theories, but when you're not listing in certain categories for a long time, I think that it can push down your other items because it's not a very active category.
I agree with these things. All of these things.
All of these things. All right.
So this was a find that I didn't find. This was something that Katy and Lorna picked up for me at a thrift store.
Lorna scouted it and I bought it.
Yep. When I was getting some dental work done in California last month, or about 6 weeks ago now, when Lorna was here, I think they paid about $7 for it. And I love selling these kimono robes. Every single one sells, and they sell fairly quickly for good prices. This sold for the price that you see here for $97.46. Katy, I think, paid for it. So it was like,
I did pay for it. It was
$7 is my guess. Is what I remember it being.
She was stuck in the dentist chair getting her mouth worked on while Lorna and I were skipping and hopping down the street going to thrift stores. So I figured the least I could do is pay $8 for a kimono she might be able to sell.
Yeah, that was nice.
Mm-hmm.
And it's this really bright, vibrant royal purple color, as you can see. So it sold pretty quickly. I think this was listed a week or 2.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, Brenda says that eBay is almost encouraging returns now. Listen, to be honest, I do free returns. And I get that it can be frustrating to see them pushing for returns, but the reality is, in my mind, when I have free returns, it is a marketing ploy. It is something that's used to market your items to encourage people to buy it. When they're looking at something, they're like, I don't know if I want to buy this. It's a little bit more than I would want to pay. But then they see that it has free returns, and it gives them confidence that they can buy it. And if they don't like it or they have an issue, they can return it. And my hope as a seller is that they're going to buy my thing and
they're men and they don't return shit.
Well, that too, but also other people that they're going to buy it. And once they get it, they're not, I'd rather have them buy it and return it than not buy it at all because they don't like your return policy, in my opinion. But that's, whatever. It is a marketing thing. It is. So, all right.
What's your next thing?
Next thing is this fish t-shirt. Now I got this.
I have a ton of fish t-shirts.
I think.
So did you get this around the same time as mine? I don't even remember.
No, I got this. I think I got this like in a $5 pile at yesterday's fits. I paid like $5 for it. I remember it was like, it's single stitch. It was super pilly, which generally t-shirts don't. It happens sometimes, but usually pilly stuff happens on sweatshirts and sweaters. But every once in a while, there's a t-shirt that I have to take a sweater shaver to it. And I had to do that with this one. And I priced it high. I think I had I had one person message me and act like they were like outraged that I would price it as such. I think it was somebody on Mercari, and I was like, whatever.
I love when you actually sell it right after.
It wasn't right after. This happened probably a couple months ago. But I sold it on Instagram. And let me show you what I sold it for. Let's see, I would go over the Flipper Tools.
Flipper Tools does Instagram?
I wasn't Instagram.
You said I sold it on Instagram.
Sorry, I sold it on Etsy. Sorry, my apology. Sold on Etsy. It was 10% off, so I actually sold it for $89.99. I think I've sent out offers to buyers on this for like $65 on eBay, but I sold it for $89.99. And then I don't know why the person did this. They could have upped the shipping when they checked out. But they sent me a message right after they bought it, and they were like, hey, this t-shirt is for a television show that is shooting on Monday, and I need the shirt for Monday. They ordered it on Thursday. They were like, I need it shipped overnight. Can you do that? And so I found their email address that was on their account, and I sent them a PayPal invoice for $23.95, and then I messaged them and I just said, I just invoiced you for the additional shipping. Once that's paid for, I will send it express. And so they paid the $89.95 plus an additional $23.95 for me to ship it express to them. And speaking of,
which is very easy to do when you're using a platform other than eBay. Let's be real about that.
So Kara, I mean, I don't know if this is necessarily a sign that fish shirts are flying up the hook for like high prices.
I have a few of them. I've sold them for a couple of them for good prices. Fish memorabilia in general is highly collectible because they did not produce a lot of it, and they have rabid fans, much like the Grateful Dead. They are that same type of cult following, and that same genre of music in general, actually. So I will say that fish memorabilia sells very, very well. It's not plentiful and it's not reproduced. However, it takes a while to find the right buyer.
And I didn't sell it to a fan. I sold it to somebody who wants to use it as a costume for a television show. Oh. So they probably looked at it. They like the graphic, and it's a fish shirt. You know, it must be something that's like maybe set back in the 90s or something. I don't know. Anyway, but still super cool. And the nice thing about selling to costume departments for television and movies is you will definitely not get it returned to you.
It's true. Definitely not.
And your sale is good to go. All right, next up for you.
Let's see. So I talked about this one, and I've shown this one before. That's not the price it sold for, by the way. I picked this up in Salem, Oregon, when we were visiting with Katy's family in Oregon. And this sold fairly quickly, as I knew it would, right back to Oregon to a freight forwarder that is taking it, I'm sure, sending it on to China. This is the type of little girl's pageant dress that sells very well. Now, most of them, it doesn't matter what the name is. That particular name is one you want to keep an eye out for. Martha's Miniatures. In any case, this sold for, I had an offer for $120. And I said, yes, I will take that.
I love those offers.
$120. It was on sale for $150. I'd priced it stupid high. And I'd had a few offers at like $50 and $60. I paid $4 for this. And it sold for $125. So.
Nice. By the way, Dana says that her rain spooner that we saw sold within an hour of listing for $68.
Nice.
Price.
Nice. Very nice.
Very, very cool. All right. Next one for me. Let's go to a couple of Grailed sales. I have this Berlin t-shirt. It's kind of a travel t-shirt, but it's kind of commemorating after the Berlin Wall fell, and once they kind of opened up travel in between from one side to another. And so it's just, to me, it's kind of a little piece of history. I don't know how many of these t-shirts are out there, but still cool. And so I priced it up, and I think it's got a cool graphic on it and everything. And I sold it for $73. I paid like $10 tops. It was one of the clearance stuff at yesterday's fit. So the most I paid for it is like $10, but I could have paid $5. But yeah, I sold it for $73, and just kind of a cool shirt.
Very nice. Very nice. Now, this one I did have for quite a bit. This was sitting in my store for quite a while, and I had priced it fairly high. This is an early 1950s wedding gown pattern. It is uncut, and it's just beautiful. Not all patterns sell for this much. As a matter of fact, if you happen to sell patterns or comp patterns, you will know that the majority of patterns do not sell very well at all. There are certain ones that do, however. So this one I finally got to sell. I sent out an offer. So it's a size 14 on a pattern from the 50s is basically like a size small now, maybe a small to medium. But a lot of people will buy these patterns in order to replicate them to make something current. And I have a feeling that might have been where this went to if it did not go to a collector. So it finally sold. I sent out offers to watchers for $115. I think I paid $1 for it.
Yeah. It's very cool though. Vogue special design. All right. Hey, remember this, guys? I didn't get this very long ago.
No, you yoinked this.
I did not yoink it. I personally found it in the men's section. How am I yoinking it?
I'm just saying. You found it when we went to Savers.
Yes, we went to Savers with Lorna. Lorna's coming up a lot in this, which, by the way, it's her birthday.
And it's her 40th. So if
it's
you
her
are friends
40th.
with Lorna or you follow her on social media,
yeah, give her a shout out. Tell her happy birthday. Anyway, she was here to visit, and we went to Savers for the first time in forever. And it was on 50% off day. It was a Monday, so it was like mayhem in there. And I went straight to the jackets because I assumed the t-shirts would be wouldn't find anything good there. So I went straight to the jackets, and I was really surprised when I found this. It was priced at $24.99, but it was 50% off, so I paid $12.50 for it. And when I did comps and I looked up these like Looney Tunes, Warner Brothers denim jackets, people have them priced so low. And I think I mentioned it when I showed it. They had them priced for like $40. You see them for like $35 plus shipping, $40, maybe $50.
They don't even know.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of them out there, but I think that's where selling on multiple platforms really helps. So, you know, somebody bought this from me on Grailed. They paid $97. Again, I paid $12.50. I only had it listed for maybe a couple of weeks, and maybe it would have sat on eBay for a long time and not sold. I don't know, but people who buy on Grailed don't necessarily even check eBay. Same goes for Etsy or Mercari or any other selling platform you use. When you have items and you put them across multiple platforms, you sell them faster. But I love this jacket. It's really cute. I think it's really cute.
It is cute. It was in great condition too.
Yep.
Okay, so I picked up these boots at an estate sale in a huge pile of stuff over a year ago. I want to say, I can't remember who was with us at this estate sale. I want to say it might have been Kara.
I don't know.
I went to an estate sale and it was you and me and somebody else that happened to be visiting.
Okay.
In any case, I picked these up at an estate sale for $1. Now, they definitely have lizard trim. I do believe they could have been elephant skin as well, but I had no way to prove that, and I wasn't able to figure it out. You can see the pictures from the pictures. They're not in perfect condition by any stretch of the imagination. Mm-hmm. But this is a super, super high-end boot company. And I knew I could get some decent money for them. So in any case, I listed them really high. I listed them for like $300, and I've had them sitting around forever and not a huge amount of interest. Now, 9.5 is a relatively small size for men's shoe as well. Mm-hmm. So I priced it pretty high. And I sent out offers the other day and sold them for $150.
Nice.
I mean, I paid $1 at an estate sale out of a pile.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
I really want to say it might not have been you, Kara. It was someone that was here visiting that we did estate sales with, and I wanted to say it was you, but maybe it wasn't.
Now she paid $1, sold them for $150, but again, it did take her a year of having it in her inventory. So those are all things that people have to weigh. If, you know, what kind of business they want to have. Do they want to flip stuff faster? Do they want to, you know, she probably could have sold them if she had them at 75, they probably would have sold pretty quickly. But it's just a matter of like what you want your business model to look like. And we both happen to like slower moving, higher price sales.
I kind of do a little, right. And I kind of do, I have modified it over the years, and I'm constantly changing and mixing it up too. So, I mean, that's the thing about business, right? It's not, you can't let your business or your business model become stagnant. You have to constantly change to go with the times to figure out how to make money. So I have a whole bunch of slow sellers. I am more about the slow dime than the fast nickel, but sometimes the fast nickel's worth it too.
And there's people who do the fast nickel and they make way more money than we do, but it's just a different way of approaching it. And either they're hustling like crazy themselves, or they're paying multiple people to hustle like crazy for them. And it just depends on what's the guy's name that lists like 5,000 things a day?
Oh, Tech and Sports.
You know,
he's got a fantastic
I'm sure
business
he makes
model.
More money than both of us put together.
It definitely does.
But that approach is just not appealing to us at all. And so I guess it's just to say that, you know, it's up to you how you want to approach your business.
You just have to find what works for you and what you like to do to make this be a sustainable, enjoyable business.
Yeah. Because
I'll tell you what, if this actually ever felt to me like it was a job, I'm not so sure I would want to continue.
Yeah. But there is no single right way to do it. There's definitely some ways that we would say are wrong, that are not feasible or not sustainable. But there are definitely multiple right ways to do it. And so it just depends on like what works for you.
Yeah.
And generally there's going to be ways that you could be growing even bigger that you haven't tried yet.
And that goes for all of us. Us
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Everyone.
us included, obviously. I would never be the person to tell you that there is only one way to do this business. And if you're not doing it my way, you're doing it wrong. That's absolutely not true. There are so many different ways to make this business work for you on many different platforms.
And it depends on what your priorities are and what your goals are, like where you see yourself in 10 years and 5 years or 2 years, and what you're doing to get there. Because some people have very different goals. Some people have visions of having a huge multi-million-dollar selling company that has multiple double-digit employees and stuff like that. So it really just depends on what you envision your future of your business being. All right.
I just wanted to comment before we kept going. Greg DuPage Picker says, I'm a sponge at the Reseller Remix. I have to be honest with you. I'm going to be a sponge as well because, again, part of this is not just a Vikki and Katy event, because the two of us are actually not even major speakers at the event. We're facilitating. We're going to help facilitate a couple of conversations and panels, but you guys listen to us all the time. This is a Katy and Vikki show event. We brought together some of the people that we feel are the best in the business because we also want to learn from them.
Yeah.
And there are so many different things to learn from so many different people that even if you pick a little nugget from each person, you're going to walk away with a whole lot of knowledge.
People who are successfully, anyone that we have up there who's going to be talking about business and things to do to be successful have proven that by having super successful businesses in reselling. Mm-hmm. And so whether they do things like we do or do things completely differently, they're doing something right, that they have managed to grow a business and do things with it beyond what we can even do. And far beyond
what we want to do.
But what that was really essential is that anyone who's kind of like teaching or trying to inspire other sellers or saying like, I'm here, I'm going to tell you all the secrets of how to do XYZ, they need to have a proven track record that they have done it themselves and successfully done it themselves. Mm-hmm. And
in order to be talking about
it. And it's not, and yes, we certainly have some big media, social media influencers that we're having there because we do think they have something to share, but not one of them is
just a social media influencer.
Not one of them is coming on there that hasn't proven that they can, build a full-time reselling business separate from the social media part. And to us, that's a really important distinction, because I'm assuming none of our people coming to this event are coming because they want to be YouTubers or
maybe they
Instagrammers.
Maybe they do,
but that's not really the focus that we're talking about. Anywho, enough of that little tangent.
Moving on.
Next up,
you did sell this one fast. I knew you would.
I sold. Well, but the thing is, it's a kid size. So I got, you guys know, like, what was it? Like maybe 3-4 weeks ago, a month ago, I got a whole bunch of these really awesome dead stock, mostly 70s, some early 80s t-shirts that came from Kmart. And
what was the measurements on it though?
The majority, real effing small.
No, it's a large kids, but scroll down. I just want to see the measurements.
Yeah.
Underarm to underarm, 30 inches. Actually
15 inches across the chest. That's very small.
Right. I just said 30 inches. I know how to double.
Okay. You said underarm to underarm third. Anyway.
Whatever.
Yes, 30
chest
inches
is
around.
30 inches, which makes it an extra small, which makes it fit on an extra small boy.
It's only 21 inches long.
An extra small boy. And I am betting that this sold to a man.
All right, maybe so. But anyway, it's just...
And he's wearing it to the club.
I hope so. But I've sold a couple of these shirts now. I just sold one today, actually, on Etsy that I'm pretty stoked about. But I paid about a bunch of them. The majority of them were youth sizes. There were a few adult sizes, but still pretty small. And I paid $15 each for a whole bunch of them, something like 17 or 18 of these t-shirts with all different characters and people and TV shows and different things on them. So I paid $15 for this and sold it for $118. But it is awesome. I just love the old Kmart tag, though. It sold for $3.47. And it's not even like, it doesn't even have like a tag on it. It's like a straight pin. Like a bunch of them just have like, they're just attached.
I know, it's
straight
cool.
Pins.
It's cool.
And I'm like, somebody just like sat there and like stuck straight pins in them. It's just weird. Anyway, very exciting sale though. I'm pretty stoked about it. Mercari's been coming through for me lately. I don't know what's up, man.
Casey, I cannot answer you because we're live right now, buddy.
He's not watching. Don't show him his phone number.
Oh, sorry. No, it doesn't show. It does his name.
Anyway, he's probably getting revenge for all the times that we've called him during his show because we don't pay attention to when he goes on.
It's true.
What's this? What do you got?
Oh, so this is a shirt that you grabbed for me. I took Katy to the bins with me a few weeks ago on a Saturday morning, just for the heck of it, because she hadn't been in a long time and hadn't been to the new bins, so to speak, here in Vegas. And she grabbed this out of a bin for me and knew that I would want to sell it. And she was correct. And I did. Mm-hmm. It's just a very cool vintage leisure wear looking, almost a little bit tiki-esque with the banding on it, but definitely 70s. It's a knit shirt, so it's like a polo sweater.
I think it's pretty awesome.
It's pretty sweet.
I think you're real lucky that somebody found that for you.
I was so lucky. So because it's small, because it was lightweight, it probably cost me about $1.
Yeah.
And it sold on Etsy, again, listed for a week and a half, maybe. Sold for $69.95.
Nice.
So
very nice.
I do like it.
It looks like it should really smell like cigarettes, though.
It does not, but
like somebody's stepdad probably wore that well into the late 80s, early 90s, even though his beer belly stuck out from it. It like reeked of cigarettes. But
no,
at one point it was cool. All right, guys.
It's just really bad.
guys, I'm so excited about this sale. So I had messaged Laura, who's one of our boss admins, and our dear friend Laura Zeke. I messaged her last night, but it was in our like private chat, and so she was probably in bed at the time. So I don't know if she saw this part of the messages. But Laura, as you guys know, she hates listing clothing, and I think I showed these last week in our haul, didn't I? I think I showed the stuff that she had sent me. Anyway, she had sent me either last week or the week before, she had sent me some t-shirts. And this was one of them. In our chat, she had posted a picture of it. And she said, hey, what about this shirt? How much should I sell it for? I'm thinking $60. And I told her, like, $60? You're nuts. And then I said, listen, let me just pay you $60. You send it to me and I'll sell it. And so she was like, sold. And so she sent me that one. And then I also bought the Shania Twain's t-shirt that Vikki tried to steal from me. And I listed them yesterday, you guys. And I listed them for, you can see they're $199. I think on eBay it was for sale for $209.99. I had it up on my Instagram, which I got a couple messages on Instagram, and then somebody sent me an offer Mercari for $164, and I said sold because I was hoping to sell it for $125 to $150. So when somebody offered $164, I said yes. So it was very, very fast. Paid $60 for it, sold it for $164. Same day I listed it. Super excited. And so I just hope that Laura continues to hate listing clothing and just keeps looking for cool vintage t-shirts for me to buy off of her.
Seriously. And she sent me a huge box. I did an unboxing, impromptu unboxing in the Boss Facebook group last week. Mm-hmm. And all that stuff is with Crystal right now. She is photographing and drafting it for me. So when it comes back, those of you that did not see the live, I'm going to show you some of the pieces.
Yeah.
But that's not here right now.
Anyway, I'll have to hit Laura up again because I want to make sure she sees, because she'll be super happy that I sold this, because so far I think I've sold most of the stuff that she sent me in the past. Like there's like that vintage Tiffany t-shirt. Mm-hmm. And anyway, next one for you.
This is just a really cute, I picked this up in Atlanta when we were clearing out Reflections of Trinity, and we were in their warehouse and sourcing through some of that stuff. I picked up this vintage tree skirt. Mm-hmm. It's just this really pretty crocheted tree skirt, and it had no damage. There was nothing wrong with it. Really pretty, very nicely done. It was clearly handmade over, and it had like a red fabric overlay under it, and it was kind of just tacked down to the red overlay. And you can see it has the split, so it ties around the edge of the.
You should have shared it with your friend who likes doilies.
Oh yeah, yeah, she probably would have loved that. And I didn't have it listed very long. So again, people that are like, oh, should I wait till Christmas to start listing my Christmas stuff, or wait until the fourth quarter? No, you should not. So it sold.
Oh,
you closed out your flipper tools.
Sorry. Flipper tools.
And it sold pretty quickly. It was listed again, maybe a couple of weeks.
My apologies.
Mm-hmm. For $79.95. And I actually, that's not something that was easily compable. I kind of pulled that price out of my butt.
Gross.
I paid about $3 for it.
Nice work. Very good. All right. Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
All right, last one for me is this week's Instagram sale. It's funny because I have only listed like 2 things on Instagram in the last like month. I listed this and sold it the same day. I posted it on my Instagram, and I had like 3 or 4 people contact me about it, and I think I paid like $30 for it. It's new with tags. It's a really cool. Remember the Cooties game, and it's just a cool, fun, nostalgic T-shirt with great graphics on it, new with tags. And I got contacted. I think I listed it for $200. It would have been on sale for $209.99 on eBay and for $200 on all my other platforms. And so the people that contact me on Instagram, I'm not going to pay fees. So I said $150, and I got $150 for it. So maybe I could have sold it for more. Maybe if I went on a virtual fleet with something like this, I could have sold it for more. But $150 for a quick flip. I paid $30 for it. It's a really cool shirt, and I sold it to my buddy Rob, who's actually the one who bought my my ET T-shirt for $900 on the virtual fleet. Mm-hmm. So I'm actually really excited that he's the one that got this. But really awesome sale. I'm super happy about it. All right, so that's it. That's it, guys. That's what we got.
That was the sales.
Let's go ahead and get into our haul. Let's see if we can bust this out. We don't have a ton of stuff to show.
No, so I'm gonna go all the way through and show you everything I have, okay. And then you can go all the way through. We don't need to go back and forth because I don't have enough.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. So I just wanted to show this fantabulous 70s polyester disco looking thing that I picked up at the bins. Here's a little tip for you. So here's it's tiny, teeny tiny, but it's got these big, long, wide leg pants. One of the things I wanted to talk about, this was full of stains. It was yellowed and stained. Corey was with me. I actually picked up the top of it and said, oh, this is so cute. I know I saw the matching pants in another bin. Both of them were heavily stained and disgusting. I was able to pre-treat this and wash it, and every single stain except one tiny faint yellow one on the pant leg came out. One of the things I wanted to talk about, this type
No one's going to see that when you're on the disco floor.
Right. This type of polyester, I don't even know if you can see it in the fabric in the photo, but this type of polyester, everything comes out of it. Everything. It comes out clean as heck. So don't be afraid of polyester when it's solid 100% 60s and 70s polyester, even early 80s polyester, if it has staining. Almost everything I've been able to get out of it. Some really, really dirty pieces. So these are the pants. It's this powder blue leisure suit polyester color. It's freaking hideous. It's so hideous. It's fantastic. And then this is the top that goes with it.
I don't know. This is very Carol Brady, I think.
This little peplum top with the tie around the waist. There's an old faded tag in here somewhere. Anyway, it's tiny, super tiny, like an extra small. But I'll probably list it for at least $75. Somebody will rock this outfit. Some little teeny tiny woman will rock it, and it'll look fantastic.
So I was just speaking of how you get stains out and stuff. I was just talking to a friend of ours today because she got a stain on her favorite dress and was wanting help with how to get it out. And she thought it was something like grease or something like that. And so I'd sent her this picture. Hold on, right there. This is the stuff that I use now. When I'm washing white stuff, I bleach the crap out of it. But for pre-treatment, I use this LA's Totally Awesome all-purpose concentrated cleaner. And it's super concentrated. You're supposed to like water down, but I'm just like Star with Flippin' Hippos. I don't water it down. I use the full concentrate.
And that's what I used. I sprayed the heck out of it.
Degreaser.
I sprayed the heck out of that suit, all of the pieces that had the issues. And you get in there with a toothbrush and you grind it into the fabric fibers. Don't do it on silk, obviously. Yeah. Don't do it on rayon. Don't be doing that with a toothbrush. But on polyester and on cotton and fabrics like that, denim, that's what you want to do. Grind it into the fabric fibers and then, make it wait a few hours if you want, and then throw it into the washing machine.
You do want to find, and Britt was the one that discovered this, and I had it happen to me too. If you spray it on a T-shirt, that there's especially red graphics and stuff like that, it can make it bleed a little bit. I've been able to get it out with the second wash, but just beware, be careful.
Buy color catcher things for your wash if you have certain colors. This is another thing I picked up at the bins. This is one of my nicer finds. This is a black corduroy with velvet trim, not velvet. It is suede. Sorry, suede trim with the elbow patches. This is John Varvatos. You've heard me talk about that brand before. I've bought it several times, but this I paid like $2 for at the bins, and I'll sell it for probably $130 or so, maybe more.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. What else have I got over here? This was something I picked up this week from my little my lady that I'm picking up all the stuff from weekly. This is just a really cute suit set. A lot of what she's selling me, as I've said, is 90s stuff, early Y2K. Some of it's middle-aged businessy women stuff. Not the type of stuff I would normally pick up. Not all of it, but when I'm buying it for $4 a piece, and a great lot of it is new with tags, then it does make it worth it for me. Even if I'm going to sell it for $30 or so, new with tag stuff is almost always worth it when it's cheap enough, right? This is a suit that is vintage. It's like 90s. I'm sure you can try to see the fabric here. It's kind of this pearlescent fabric, a little bit of like a satin sheen to it. So this is the top. It's got all this puckering on the back. And this is the skirt. It's just a basic straight skirt with a little bit of a ruffle and a button detail on the back. It's actually quite pretty.
Like the retail price is like.
The retail price is what I'm going to look at. So it's vintage Bill Blass. It's like late 90s, early 2000s, Y2K. It's Bill Blass. And this is the retail price on this.
Like, has anyone ever paid that much for this outfit?
Probably not. Bill Blass for $425. Come on now. But the fact that it was $425, can I get 40 or 50 for it? Hell yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
How old are we? I don't know. Old. Too old for that. So, I mean, it's $495. Really now? Come on now. Come on now.
That's the best though when you shop at like Burlington and like their retail prices are like these crazy high prices.
Oh, what is that called? Moire Fabric, Terra Thrifts, and Mo Waste Not Want Not both said that Moire fabric. I don't even know what Moire fabric is. So you just taught me something. I'm going to write that down. Yeah. Thank you. And I'm going to look that up. I will let you know if that's what it is. Thank you for that. Let's see. Pick this up from my lady as well. This is just a lower end. I think I showed a dress that was the same brand last week. Lower end, late 90s, early 2000s, Burberry London. Just a white with the Nova plaid check trim. That standard Nova plaid check trim. Just a white cotton robe with a belt.
Interesting.
Paid $4. I'll probably sell for about 75 or so. Let's see. Oh, and these are all things that that's all I had that was interesting from that haul to show you today. Sorry. Sounds like moire. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, so Terra Thrift, I agree with you. Some Bill Blass is highly collectible. That was when Bill Blass was an early designer. It's kind of like Halston. Early Halston is super collectible and high end. Late 60s, early 70s into the very, very early 80s Halston designer is super collectible. Anything that you find made by Halston now or in the 90s or in 2000s when they sold out and went mass produced and was sold by JCPenney is shit and not worth anything or very little. So you're absolutely right. So older designers before they sold out and commercialized to department stores and went lower with their quality and they're no longer high-end designers or couture designers, that's where the cusp is, where it's highly collectible versus not worth much now. To use a more modern example of that would be like Betsy Johnson. Okay, so Betsy Johnson, Betsy New York, Betsy made in the USA, Betsy with her her kind of punk line, the early 80s stuff where she started. Fantastic designer, super great, fun, funky stuff. Versus now, you can buy her cheap ass shit at TJ Maxx. It's not the same. No, it's true though. It's very true. So keep that in mind when you're looking at certain brands. Different decades mean different things, right? So Katy grabbed these for me today. I paid for them.
I do a little sourcing for her.
Sometimes she finds stuff that she knows I would love. And got these at yesterday's fits today. I did pay $40 a piece for these, but I think I'm going to list them for about $200 and expect to sell them for like $150 a piece ish. They're kind of hard to find. So this is a vintage. I'm going to say these are 60s to 70s, maybe even a little earlier. Letterman sweaters.
They're nice shape. Too.
UNLV Letterman sweaters, the big wool Letterman sweaters. I'm going to do a little bit more information on the tag inside. This is definitely a 50s style, but this tag to me looks a little bit newer. So this tag to me, I think, is closer to like 60s and 70s. So anyway, I'm gonna sell this for, like I said, maybe a couple hundred, 150 to 200. So that's one of them.
I think Tara Turks is going to bite you or fight you over Betsy Johnson. Maybe bite you too.
Maybe bite me too. I love Betsy Johnson. I really do. But there's a very big difference in price points for early vintage Betsy Johnson versus current Betsy Johnson stuff. Absolutely.
She's still going to fight you.
All right. Fair enough. So this is my other UNLV. Again, these don't have any wear. There's no holes. Usually when you find these old Letterman sweaters, they're full of holes. This is another one.
There was a white one too, because you got a black one and a red one, and then there was a white one. But I didn't get the white one because some of the red had bled, and so it just didn't look it wasn't worth as much. But those two are in phenomenal shape.
Because I think Jesse still wanted $40 for the one that had damage, and that one was
he wouldn't have wanted 40.
I wouldn't have been able. It was much harder. The red had bled into the white, and it just didn't look as nice. And I didn't want to deal with trying to restore it.
But I wonder if they might have been like dead stock or something, because
they feel like they could have been,
because they're all the exact same jacket or sweater from the same person, so
they feel like they could have been. So this was a fun one Katy picked up for me, and I'm excited about this. I've sold a bunch of these things before. So this is a 1970s kind of cafe racer type jacket made out of nylon. It's nothing special as far as just yellow with the racing stripe, but every time I have found these jackets, they sell. And it's not what the jacket is, it's what the content is that's on it. So this one is a Jeep jacket. So this is a jacket that has Jeep patches on it for Jeep Club people. So 5-year Jeepers Jamboree, 10-year, 15-year, and 20-year. So every 5 years, somebody went to this Jamboree and got the patch and put it on there. And then it's got an old Jeep emblem patch on it as well. So I think I'm going to list this one for I might list this for a couple hundred too, because Jeep collectors are rabid, right?
I should have kept it for myself.
I think I'm going to list it for about 200. I think DuPage picker's right there, 175. I mean, I think that's what this is going to get me, about really 175. Cool. I'm excited. Cool patches, cool jacket. And I have a lot of friends that are like Jeep aficionados. None of them that would wear this kind of thing, but
still cool.
Jeep fans are pretty cool.
That one I might be full of regret for giving to you, but
it's true.
I made a huge mistake, you guys.
Big.
Yeah.
Huge.
Like quoting two different movies, TV shows.
Yep. So this is nothing special. This one is kind of an inexpensive, same type of thing, early 80s sort of USA. I'd get this listed real quick while we're right in the middle of Olympic stuff going on right now. Just a little lightweight windbreaker. It's plain on the back.
Yeah. I paid $5 for it.
This one was this one was about $5. I don't think I'm going to get a ton of money for it, but I think I can quick flip this for like 40 to 45 easily. Yeah. No yellow rubber ducky with the jacket. The next one, this one's kind of different. I feel like these probably came from all the same person.
Yeah, they put them on themselves.
This one again is like, okay, so this is made in Hong Kong, so I was correct. This one's like an early 80s jacket. But this one is probably the same person that took that Jeep, probably had a camper or took that Jeep camping places, because what this is just a basic blue Coach's windbreaker and just a nylon windbreaker with these super cool vintage patches all the way down it of all these different parks and places that they probably visited. Grand Canyon, Hoover Dam, Alabama, Arizona, Utah, Chicago, Tampa, Florida, another Florida Sunshine State, Pennsylvania Dutch Country, St. Petersburg, Florida. It's like the kind of things that you put on the back of a camper. You get the sticker to show all the different places you've been.
Too. You got Texas, New York State, Laughlin, Girl Scouts, Las Vegas, New Orleans, New Mexico. They're just kind of fun.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
They're definitely put on by them, and they're not necessarily well placed.
No, they're kind of but they're all over the place. And I like this kind of thing. I think they're kind of cool.
Yeah, this was like $10.
So
I think you can make some money on it.
Yeah, again, it's probably something that will sell on Etsy because it's that unusual vintage piece. And I don't know what I'm going to put it up for. Maybe 75, maybe 100. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then I just have 2 more things to show you that I picked up at the bins.
They're real fancy, you guys. Super fancy.
Super fancy, and like it's kind of silly. They're huge. They're huge. I paid $2.99 a piece because they were not by the pound because they were big. They just give you when it's something that's big, they just make up a price for it. There. Can you try to straighten that out so it shows what it is?
It's a bit of a mess. Bit of a mess.
All right, we'll just hold it up. So here's what it is. It is a huge macrame, vintage 70s macrame freaking mess with beads in it. It would hold like big, huge plant hangers. It's got this ceramic thing, figurine threaded through it. It's a hot mess.
It's all tangled up right now.
But anyway, macrame is huge right now. Brand new macrame is huge right now. Vintage macrame sells even better. It's that sweet golden mustard color from the 70s. That is a really, really big piece. It would kind of hang in the corner of somebody's room. A lot of people are doing that whole boho chic theme, that kind of thing. So yeah, that tiki bar, boho chic. It kind of goes with all of that Southwest boho thing, which is super hot and super popular right now. So I'm going to sell that for probably $200. I think I paid $2.99 at the bins for it.
Yeah.
So that kind of thing will definitely sell. I may actually smash that little ceramic lady and get her out of there because she does not add anything to it.
No. And she's kind of chipped and not in the best condition. So
yeah, so it's not something that is really adding to the look at all, and it won't mess it up if I get rid of it. Somebody actually made that and drilled holes in that little ceramic thing so that she was part of the thing. It's so freaking weird.
Oh, where's this one?
All right, now this one I cannot remove the pieces. So this one I'm going to list it for like $350, and it may sell.
Look at this.
This is something. So here's another one, more macrame, more huge household statement pieces. So you're talking about the glass shelf there, Adele. This is one that goes on the bottom.
Okay.
This one is one that has these huge wooden beads. This is an orange macrame, huge wooden beads, but it has really heavy wooden shelves in it. Again, this is like a whole side of a room. It's a statement piece in the room. So this one,
it's making a statement, all right.
This one I think I will sell for like $300, but this one is going to be heavier to ship, and I cannot get those pieces out of it. So it's going to be heavy to ship. Those wooden pieces are solid. Like if you held that, if you hung that from the ceiling with the right clamp, somebody could sit on that. It's practically a swing.
Yeah, it's
very
something, all right.
So both of these I spent $2.99 for, and they're going to sell pretty well. I'm sure.
All right, is that all your stuff?
Yeah, I think I'm going to sell that for about $350.
Okay,
that's all I have.
I'm going to get through this. Promise me you're going to pay attention.
I'm going to pay attention.
You haven't seen any of the stuff that I got.
I haven't. Usually she comes home and does show and tell, but she just did it this morning.
I didn't have time today, so I'll just go through it.
Oh, Tommy asked real quick, how to photograph them. So Tommy, our photography area actually has a big hook in front of a pull down projection screen. So I'm going to hook those in front of the screen and just take a picture from as far back in the room as I can.
And that's where something like Photoshop comes real in handy, because she's not going to be able to get a picture of that whole thing without having like probably the floor and like the outsides of the screen. Right, even though it's a big screen, that thing is huge. She's going to step way back to be able to get a good picture. And using something like Photo Room is going to really help to erase all the outside yuckiness. Yeah, a total like dust collector, dog hair collector, for sure. For sure. All of those things, dusty, gross. Those are actually not in bad shape. I figured they would have a hell of a lot more dust, but I think maybe the dust got beaten off of them while they were in the bins before I got to them. So I went to yesterday's Fits today. They were having a special in-store only sale today that was buy one, get one free, everything on their plastic hangers, which is all their $5, $10, and $20 things. And so usually, I think when it comes to $5 and $10 things, I usually pay full price for those, but I pay $15 normally for $20 items when I go in and buy from him. And so this time, I got a better deal than I even normally do. So it's pretty cool. So almost everything that I got today was $5 or $10. There were a few things I paid up for, but not much. So this one, I don't remember which racks I took it from. I'm guessing this is probably one of the $10 ones.
Syracuse stuff sells well.
Yeah, so it's got some weird stuff, but I can definitely sell this for at least 50, 60 bucks. I always do well with my college stuff. This is another $10 one. It's got some pilling I need to do on it, but it's just a really cute. I don't buy a ton of Disney stuff, but this is a really cute Mickey Mouse sweatshirt kind of thing, pilly. But again, I paid $10 for it, so I definitely can make some money with this. And it's nice to be able to get a bunch of stuff for so cheap because I do pay up a lot for my inventory a lot of times.
Gail, if you have a question about the macrame things, just send me a private message. And if you are interested in them, obviously a personal sale, I would do better pricing for you than selling online. But feel free to send me a message. I'll take a look at it and let you know how heavy it is. I mean, it's got a really heavy duty, like, it's like a, what do they call it? What's it called? A carabiner hook, whatever. It's like that. Yeah. So because it's super heavy. So, okay. This is another one I paid $10 for. Ringo Starr, 1989 tour T-shirt in fantastic condition. I don't know how well Ringo Starr sells for. I think I have the tour booklet from that tour. Yeah. I might just take it down and give it to you. You can sell it as a package.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know how well Ringo Starr stuff sells for from the 80s, but I paid $10 for it. So even if I can sell it for 50, like, that's a good deal. So in really nice condition. Here's another one I paid $10 for. I mean, I will pay $10 for the T-shirts like this all day long. All day long. This is a really cool one. I like this one a lot. It says "Freeze Nuclear Arms." So, and this is on an old 80s anvil tag.
Interesting topic, you hippie.
Yeah, damn hippie. But I actually think this is a really cool T-shirt. Again, paid $10 for it. Pay attention to me. I actually got 2 of these, and I think they're pretty cute. I think you'll like it. Mm-hmm. They say "Duck Off."
Oh, I like that one.
And they've got this duck, and he's got his little boom box. He's got his wine coolers.
Nice.
He's heading to the beach, and he says "Duck Off." And I have 2 of them, so we can go ahead and wear them and go out in our matchy outfits, guys.
Nope, not going to happen.
Matchy.
No.
Vikki never wants to do anything fun. Matchy, but I paid $10 a piece for these. They're awesome. It's funny because they don't really feel like dead stock. They're in good condition, but they don't feel like dead stock. So it's kind of interesting that they are.
No,
there's 2 of them.
It's not happening.
But maybe it was somebody else that was super fun. Another couple who actually like to be cool and funny. Anyway, all right. Next up, I think you'll like this one. Another one I paid $10 for. United Airlines sweatshirt. What do you think?
I like that one.
Anything like airlines related usually sells pretty easily.
I like that one a lot.
Especially this vintage stuff. It's got a
Timothy, you are correct. What? I say duck off. I'm not wearing it. To the amusement park you go. Matchy. Shut your mouth.
I paid $10. I hope to sell this for like 70.
I think I'll get 70 for that one. For sure.
And then this is another vintage Christian shirt. I think I was kind of confused about the design on this. You can see it's like from the crucifixion, but I think it says "Neglect not so great a salvation." I think that's what it's supposed to say. Neglect not so great a salvation. And you can kind of see it's a crucifix thing.
I think that's a strange graphic because it's really hard to figure out
which words go first.
The order of the words. That is not very good placement.
But I think it's supposed to say "Neglect not so great a salvation." That's what I think.
Okay.
Anyway,
Christian core.
Yes, Christian core. It's on a Hanes tag. So this one, I think this one I only paid $5 for, maybe 10. But again, everything pretty much was $5 or $10. And this one I will price up. I'll list for 100. Hope to sell it for at least 75.
And she's honest to God. I think you've got the Christian core market down because I don't think anyone else sells T-shirts like that.
That's not true. There are plenty in the vintage streetwear community. Jesus T-shirts is absolutely a thing. Maybe I caught on to that early, but I'm not the only one.
Maybe so.
I'm definitely not the only one. Ask Kanye West. He knows what's up. I have this Fred and Wilma Flintstone and Pebbles, and I always do well. I usually am able to sell these for, $100. But this one I paid $25 for. So there were a few pieces after I went through everything on the floor. I got there like 15 minutes before, and I went and snagged all the stuff that I wanted. And I don't get it either, Gail. I think that was a weird. I think it's a weird phrase.
weird turn of phrase. It doesn't quite make sense to me, but
yeah.
You never
I think
know.
I was saying, like, don't ignore the salvation that was given to you through Jesus's sacrifice. I think that's what it's saying. Don't nickel. It's a weird. It's definitely a strange sentence. I think that's what it's going for.
It's a strange construct.
I think that's the idea that they're going for. I think this is really cute. This is Bugs Bunny, and what's her name? I can't remember. What's the girl bunny's name?
Babs.
So Bugs and Babs, and it says Magic Mountain Adventure Club member.
Oh, cute.
And then it's got the back.
So it's Disney.
Yeah.
Magic Mountain.
Was it Magic Mountain Six Flags?
Magic Mountain is Disney.
Okay. And so the hefty tag. This one again, I paid like $25 for, so I paid a little more for this one, but I will list it for like $100.
Cute. They're going on vacation. In vacation, he's wearing a Hawaiian shirt with a camera around his neck. He's a tourist.
I did get one jacket that I did not hand over to Vikki. This is an 80s satin bomber jacket. In the back of it says Cinemax. I mean, it's a movie related.
We used to call that Skinemax when I was a kid. Did you guys call it that too?
I don't know.
In the 80s, when Cinemax first came out, it was pretty raunchy. It was raunchier
it had some
than
raunchy
HBO.
Stuff on it, but
it had a lot of naked people.
Yeah, I think like late night.
And we were young. It was late night Cinemax. We used to call it Skinemax.
Yeah. But that one I paid like $10 for, and I will list it for probably $100.
Magic Mountain's not Disney. I'm sorry, I've been corrected.
See, guys, she always ignores me and refuses. She says I'm the one who always thinks I'm right, because I usually am.
Was Skinemax a real? I don't think Skinemax was a real channel. No, I think it was Cinemax, and we used to call it that.
Yeah, no. Okay, so this is the
Space Mountain is Disney. Thank you. That was what I was thinking.
This is the sweatshirt that started it all. Jesse sent me a picture of it yesterday, and he said, I'm holding this hostage until you come in. And I said, as long as you don't lose it. I said, you better. I've been telling him he needs to put a bin together that's just my stuff, because he'll show me stuff.
What you're going to buy.
I know, but then sometimes I get there and he can't find it because he has so much
somebody yoinks it.
Or he has so much stuff coming in and out of there that it gets stuck in a pile and it gets moved around.
You need a bin with your name, and then as soon as it comes in, he just puts it in there and knows you're going to buy it.
That's my whole okay, you're saying that like you just came up with a great idea. I literally just said he needs a bin with my name. That's the whole point. He puts stuff in it that he knows I'm going to buy. Anyway, here we go. This is the sweatshirt that he got for me. Look at this, guys. Look at how amazing this is. I don't know if Allison is still in the chat or not. Allison, I think you'll appreciate this. It's funny because he said that when it came in, he just saw this part. And he already could tell. He was like, oh, this looks like something Katy's going to want. Mm-hmm. And then he opened it up and saw the skiers down at the bottom. And he was like, definitely. But here's the best part, guys. And I really hope Allison's watching, because she'll really appreciate this, because she just watched Aspen Extreme. Yeah, that's right. Top Gun on the Slopes. You all know it. It's a great movie.
It's terrible.
But you don't know. No, it's not. It is a good movie.
I watched it with you.
Yeah, it's amazing. And you have horrible taste in movies. You don't understand. Anyway, you will know.
The abuse.
You will know the Aspen Extreme culminates in a Powerade competition. And if you look at the tracks in the snow, those are some flippin' Powerade tracks, guys. And it's Alaska. It's amazing. It's
and
a beautiful.
It even has a copyright date here somewhere.
Yeah, it looks like 80s. Anyway, this is a majestic sweatshirt, and you will not stomp all over my Aspen Extreme dreams and
good Lord.
Passions.
Calm yourself.
If you haven't seen Aspen Extreme, it's pretty dated. It's a 90s ski movie. It is ridiculous. The clothing is amazing. It ends in an athletic competition, which I think the greatest movies of all time end in some sort of athletic competition.
With the 80s montage
whether
music.
This is 90s, whether it's skiing or rollerblading.
Adele says she cannot take her eyes off of your eyebrows.
If you want to see another movie that's super dated but really, really fun, it's a movie called Airborne with an E on the end of it, and you can see them rollerblading down the Devil's Backbone. Jack Black's in it in a very small part.
Good Lord, why are you
Devil's Backbone. I'm just saying. Karate Kid on skis. And then
it's too much.
And then the last thing I'll show you. Check out these eyebrows. You who else can't keep his eyes off my eyebrows? My grandnephew. I do this to him when we do FaceTime, and he giggles. All right. Last thing. This is the one thing I paid up for. I paid $100 for this, you guys. $100.
Trashed in a good way.
I don't care. Yeah. $100, guys. Back to the Future, The Ride. Universal Studios, guys. Look at that. Look at that back hit. Look at this amazing Back to the Future sweatshirt. It's on a Toltex tag. It's actually not in bad condition. Where
Just
it's really
collar
thrashed is the collar is thrashed. The rest of it looks pretty good. I don't think it's stained or anything. I paid $100 for this. Jesse had it out for $150. I think he said he paid $85, which is like just goes to show you, like, there's so many times where I buy something from him and it'll be like, well, you know, he paid $60 and he'll charge me $80, or like in this case, he paid $85 and so he charged me $100 because, you know, he had to make a little bit of money, but he also wanted to sell it to me. So, just
what do you think you're going to sell it for?
Oh, like I want to sell it for $200
at least.
Yeah, at least $200. So I'll probably list it for $300 and try to sell it for $200. So, but it's just such an awesome sweatshirt. I love it.
You're crazy.
It's a beauty. I saw it out there and I was like, it must be mine. Woo-hoo! And then I skied to the back of the room and I said, it must be mine. Give it to me, Jesse.
She's had a lot of caffeine today.
I had some Diet Coke from McDonald's. Get over it.
A lot of caffeine.
I'm just excited because I got to go sourcing. And it's really fun. And let me tell you, there's nothing better. Like, you go to a thrift store and it's like, if you're looking for vintage t-shirts, you're generally going to be super disappointed. You go to a place like Yesterday's Fits and it's like, you know, you're going to find like just the best stuff. You're not going to be disappointed. You're not going to walk away buying nothing cool. Which, by the way, guys, Yesterday's Fits, Jesse and Austin, they're going to be, like I said before, they're going to be speakers at our event. And also, he's working on figuring out some sort of deal where anybody who comes into the Yesterday's Fits shop and has their lanyard to show that they are going, you know, attendees of the event will get a special deal. We'll get a special discount in the shop.
Oh,
so yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah,
interesting.
Yeah.
Oh,
anyway,
Barbara, our resident wealth of knowledge
theologian.
Our resident theologian. Good word. Said that the Christian T is a reference to Hebrews chapter 2, verse 3.
There you go. There you go.
She's a smart one, that Barbara.
All right, guys. That's all we have today. Wrapping up. I mean, it was an hour and a half show, so that's not bad for us.
It was still not.
Everybody's having a good time,
show.
Okay?
It's going to be a short show today.
Yeah, you got potty mouth Vikki, you got yelly eyebrowy Katy. It's overall, it's we've hit all the highs, all the lows, and we're so happy to have shared that with you. We will see you around. Of course, we'll be back next Sunday. We are going this week. We're going a little weekday trip. We're heading up to Washington to see some friends up in Washington for a few days. Mm-hmm. But we will be back for next weekend, so we will have a show next Sunday for sure.
Gail says that my Instagram link in the YouTube is broken. Well, thanks for letting us know about that, Gail. I did not know that. But if you just look for me under LVPinkPeacock, that's me on Instagram.
Yep,
so
absolutely.
That's me across all platforms, and you can feel free to send me a DM through that.
Yeah, for sure. Tommy, I don't know if I'm sure there's got to be some, you know, a place like Portland's definitely going to have vintage stuff. When I lived there for like 10 years and I grew up in Oregon, I wasn't buying and selling vintage like I am now. I would just go to thrift stores, but I'm pretty positive there's got to be some shops in Portland that are just this kind of stuff. But I will say in Portland, you're going to find some cool stuff at Buffalo Exchange. They have 2 locations there. I've been to one and I bought a bunch of stuff last time we were there. So definitely check out Buffalo Exchange. Anyway, let's wrap this up.
We're done.
Make sure you're following the Boss Reseller Remix on Instagram as well as the 2 of us. Sorry for those broken links. I'm always trying to sabotage Vikki when she's not looking.
Clearly.
But we will see you around on the interwebs.
We'll see you next Sunday.
All right.